Hey, good morning, and welcome back to Life is Better with a Cigar. Today we are reviewing Camacho Coyolar. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but Coyolar. Coyolar. It smells good. I'm getting a woody. I'm getting a lot of that dried fruit and like an oak. It smells good. Very sweet, very smoky. Right off the bat, I'm gonna say like a 7. 7 in terms of the aroma. I'm gonna go ahead and snip it with my Hammersmith deep V cutter. I do love that that V cut versus the straight cut or the punch. I prefer the V. But and then with my handy dandy old reliable Hammersmith lighter. Hammersmith, send me some free shit, man. Okay, I'm getting a lot of that like oak smokiness right off the bat, and pepper. I'm definitely getting some pepper. But that is not an exit. I definitely almost drove off the curb because I thought it was the exit, and I was wrong. I like this Camacho wrap that they have there, the ring on it, but the label, I mean, but it's too big for this tiny little cigar. So that's gonna have to come off here relatively soon. Excuse me. So I got traffic court later this evening, and that kind of brought to mind some of the other tickets that I've gotten and avoided over the years, right? And the best ticket that I ever avoided, right? So I kind of touched on the fact that I was previously married and we split, and she took my daughter to live in a different state, right? So we when we split, I sent my dog with my daughter because there's no reason that she needed to lose easy access to her dad and her dog all at the same time. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? Just take the pup. My dog's name was Carly. Unfortunately, I had to put her down a couple of years ago, but that's an unpleasant other memory. But anyway, so the dog went with them, and after a while, my daughter calls me up and says, "Hey, Dad, Carly is kind of being neglected here. nobody except me ever plays with her. Like, she's chained up in the backyard all day. They put her in the basement in the dark when they leave. Like, she's just being neglected. And I was like, bet, I'll be there to pick her up as soon as absolutely as soon as I can. So I'm definitely getting pepper. And that oak smokiness is kind of evolving into more creamy leather-ish. I like it. I like it. But anyway, so so I'm like, all right, I'll be there to pick Carly up as soon as I can. So I jump in my truck, and I was living with my parents out in California at the time, because after I got out of the military, it was between me getting out of the military and me moving to the East Coast. So I was kind of floating, but anyway, so I was living with my parents at the time, and she was living, I'm not going to tell you exactly what state, but she was living is still living in the Midwest. So I jump in my truck, and I start going, and I'm flying trying to get there, right? So I'm in the middle of like back-ass Nebraska, like middle of nowhere, bumfuck Egypt, Nebraska. It's the wee hours of the morning, nothing but cornfields as far as the eye can see, right? And like wheat and shit. There's nobody around, so I'm just fucking cruising, and all of a sudden, just whoop whoop in my back mirror, just fucking lights. God damn it, right? So I pull over. It's tasty. I also really like the fact that the draw is nice, and there's a little bit of resistance, right? Like there needs to be, but it's not like smoking a twig. It's not crazy hard. The resistance on the draw is pretty perfect. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so yeah, so I get pulled over. Back ass nowhere, Nebraska. It's like fucking 2 a.m. Nobody around. So he pulls me over and gives me the standard, do you know why I pulled you over, blah, blah, blah. And of course I play stupid. No, I don't know why you pulled me over. I wasn't doing anything wrong, blah, 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 etc. So he starts listing, that tells me that I was speeding, etc., etc. It's like, all right. And apparently I might have had a little bit of an attitude, kind of argued with him. So I get pulled out of the vehicle, and sat down by the side of the road while he's going through my car. And I'm still not completely clear on how it got to that point. Otherwise, I would give you more details, but it is what it is. So he's going through my car, or my truck rather, and every once in a while I see him like shake his head and write something down, and I'm like, fuck, like I'm definitely going to jail tonight. So he finally stops going through my truck and like walks back up to me shaking his head, and he's like just resigned. You can see it on his face. He's just fucking tired. Very nice. Anyway, so he walks up to me. You can see in his face he's just fucking tired, and he's got this like note, one of his little notebooks, and he's got this whole list of shit that he's reading off to me. And so he got me for 95 through a construction zone, no seatbelt, talking on a phone with no hands free, no expired registration, my insurance, no expired registration, no insurance, a suspended license. I didn't have a muffler on my truck, it was just straight pipe. I had a back seat full of fireworks that were illegal in that state. One of my taillights was out, and I had a pocket knife that was too long for the state of Nebraska. And so he's just like shaking his head. And he looks at me and he's like, I'm not doing this fucking paperwork. I'm not doing this paperwork at all. He said, you're gonna go be someone else's problem, and next time don't make it so obvious that you're fucking stupid. I was like, yeah, alright, I can absolutely do that. Like, yes sir. He was like, I'm supposed to impound your car and arrest you right now. Like, the amount of shit that you have going on, I am legally required to impound your car and arrest you. He said, but I'm not doing all that paperwork. Next time, don't make it so obvious you're stupid. Go away. Bet. Yes, sir. No problemo. I will go be someone else's problem. It's crazy. That would have been a bad night. That would have been a terrible night. But I got out of it. Still don't know how I got out of it, other than the fact that it was just enough that he was like, dude, what the fuck? Good times. Bad decisions make good stories, you know what I mean? No matter how they end, bad decisions make good stories. Unless the ending is death. That's not a great... That's a bad ending, and it doesn't make a good story. Speaking of death, fucking jumping gears real quick. Granted, keep in mind, this is all my opinion. I don't have fact or figures or fucking proof to back up anything I say really on this channel. And if you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself. Find somebody else to watch. But I think Beyonce had Aaliyah killed. I do. I think Beyonce, she didn't get her own hands dirty, right? I'm not that naive to think that she did her own goddamn dirty work, but I think I think Beyonce had somebody sabotage Aaliyah's plane, so that she would be taken out of the picture. Because, I mean, think about it, right? I don't know the exact years that these things happened, but Destiny Child broke up like the early 2000s. Only a year or so, I believe, after Aaliyah died in that plane crash. Now, Aaliyah, well, so Destiny's Child was semi-talented, right? They put out some hits, like Jumpin'. Jumpin' was a good fucking club song. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but I know there were others. They put out some good songs, right? As a group, and it was, I believe it was Beyonce's mom that was their manager. I'd have to look that up. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it was Beyonce's mom that was their manager. And there were some, over the years before they broke up, there were some band members that decided to leave and go pursue other avenues of entertainment. Excuse me. Because they thought that Beyonce's mom, it might have been her dad, I don't remember. One of Beyonce's family members was the manager. But anyway, so there were other band members in the years past that decided to leave because they thought that the manager was showing favoritism towards Beyonce, which of course they were. But the other band members thought that they weren't getting the same pay, they weren't getting the same recognition, blah blah blah. And so they left. Excuse me. So simultaneously, Aaliyah was getting big, right? Aaliyah was putting out some fucking bangers in terms of music. Some great songs, just some great songs. Some like slower, smoother R&B, some faster fucking club songs, you know, whatever. Aaliyah was putting out some hits. And I am of the firm opinion that Beyonce and by extension her manager were convinced that she was never, or that Aaliyah needed to go in order to get out of the way for Beyonce to get big, right? And so tragically, Aaliyah dies in that plane crash, and surprise, surprise, not too much longer, not too long later, Destiny Child breaks up, and Beyonce goes solo and gets big. Eventually hooks up with Jay-Z, they become billionaires, blah 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 blah, etc. I think that Beyonce had somebody take Aaliyah out. I mean, let's face it, Beyonce, she's hyped up, but in terms of music, she's fucking mid. Like, she's okay, she's semi-talented, but she's not everything that people say she is. And the same with her level of attractiveness, right? Like, she's attractive, don't get me wrong, like, she's definitely not ugly. But Aaliyah was hotter, for sure. Aaliyah was 100% more attractive than Beyonce. I think that's another reason that Beyonce had her taken out. She was fucking jelly. So this seems to hold the cherry pretty well. And the ash. Like, it's not burning fast. It's a little bit uneven. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit uneven. I'm hoping that evens itself out. I think it will. But it's holding the ash and holding the cherry pretty well. I don't necessarily have to fucking babysit it. The pepper's starting to go away. The pepper's starting to go away, and that creamy leather is coming more to the forefront. Which makes me a little bit, like, I like that creamy leather flavor, but it makes me a little bit sad because I was really digging that background pepper, and it's starting to go away. But this Camacho is pretty good. Man, so I tried to do a review yesterday. First of all, apologize. It's been probably a little more than a week since I put one out. I was trying to do one every week, but come on, Let's go. Old ass man driving. Anyway, so I got pretty sick. I couldn't really smell anything. It wasn't COVID or anything, but I got a pretty bad cold. Couldn't smell anything, couldn't taste anything, couldn't really breathe very well, and lost my voice. So I figure with our powers combined, that adds up to a really shitty cigar review when I need all of those things. So I had to wait till I was better. I still don't feel tip-top shape, but I can smell and taste and talk. So those are the most important things. And breathe. I can breathe most of the time. But so anyway, so I tried to put one out yesterday. I was trying to review, what was it? The Last of Our Kind number 1, which I think my biggest issue was that was the draw, but I'll end up reviewing that again at some point. But I tried to do a review video yesterday, and just I kept getting fucked with. Right? Like, I would start the video, and 5 minutes into the video, I would get a work phone call. So I'd have to stop the video, answer the call, restart the video, try to catch all the viewers up to where I was, restart the review, and then like 5 minutes later, I'd get another phone call, and I'd have to do all that shit over again. And then after the third phone call, 10 minutes into the review, my phone overheated and died. So I was like, fuck it, this review isn't getting done today. It is what it is. But it tasted good. So I'll end up doing another review of that one at some point, probably. But as of today, Camacho Coyolar. I'm going to try to take off this wrap without destroying, try to take off this ring without destroying the cigar wrap. I hope it works. Boom, look at that shit. Excuse me. So, in summation, Beyonce definitely had Aaliyah killed. Now, who she got to do it, whether it was the manager or fucking whoever, I don't know. I don't have those details, and I don't have proof of anything I'm saying, but Beyonce definitely had Aaliyah killed. And Michael Jackson did it. Let's be fucking honest with each other. Michael Jackson did it. Like, don't get me wrong, he's fucking crazy. Well, he was fucking crazy talented. Right? He put out some awesome music. And at the same time, he 100% molested all those kids. Right? Like, if it was one kid that, like, if it was one kid saying some shit, and like maybe, I don't know, maybe at that point you're like, did it happen? Like, did it happen, or did the kid's parents just want a fucking payday at Michael Jackson's expense? I don't know. But you don't have multiple victims come out, multiple kids come out over the course of what, like 20 fucking years? 15 or 20 years, all saying the same shit that, oh, he invited us over, blah, blah, blah. We rode on his roller coasters and played with his fucking giraffe and monkey and shit. And then he touched our fucking no-no squares. No. That's too much fucking coincidence. That's too many people. You 100% fucking did it. He should have rotted in prison. Death is too good of a fucking too good of a result. Too easy of a result for those crimes, right? And OJ definitely did it. OJ killed that white lady. I don't know her name. I didn't pay enough attention, but like, and honestly, if it wouldn't even be in my mind, I wouldn't be paying attention to it at all, or never really would have. But later on, after he was acquitted, he put out a fucking book talking about, if I had done it, this is what I would have done. No, motherfucker, you 100% killed that lady. And Johnny Cochran got you off. I think Cat Williams said it best. What if I'd have done it? What if you'd have shut the fuck up, motherfucker? You ain't supposed to get... you just... Nope. You just keep your goddamn mouth shut. If you get off for murder, you shut the fuck up. Cat Williams is a funny motherfucker. He sure is. Still holding the ash really well. That's what I appreciate about you. I just said so many nice things about you holding that ash, and ash is on my pants. That was rude. No reason for that. Also, I should slow down. Less than 10 over is a sweet spot here in South Georgia. They don't really fuck with you unless you're going 10 or more over the speed limit. So I always keep the cruise control pinned at like 8 over. But I wasn't paying attention. I was doing like fucking 20 over. Had to slow down. So let's talk about childhood trauma for a minute, right? Talking about Michael Jackson touching all them damn kids. Let's jump subjects over to childhood trauma. Right? Now, I am not in any way saying the dumb shit that happened to me as a kid was anywhere close to the bullshit that happened to those kids. Right? I didn't get touched by nobody. I wasn't fucking beaten by my parents more than I deserved. Blah, blah, blah. None of that happened. Right? But I had a teacher in 3rd grade, Mrs. Garcia. First of all, this bitch, keeping in mind, I'm 3rd grade. I was what? Fucking 8-ish? But this bitch, Miss Garcia, was about 175 years old when I was in 3rd grade. And she was mean. Like, teachers, I get the fact that wrangling 3rd graders is not a walk in the park. But, like, there's no reason to be mean. Or shit on kids' dreams. Right? It's elementary school. You're supposed to encourage children. Not shoot down their dreams of what they want to be when they grow up. But anyway, so me and my best friend at the time, again, no names, but we'll call him Charlie. me and Charlie, we got this wild hair up our ass one day. We wanted to be fucking famous songwriters. And we're 3rd grade. We're 8. We don't know what the fuck we're doing, right? But we spent all recess, our lunch recess, that was fucking half hour. We gave up a half hour of our fucking play outside on the playground time to write this song together, right? And it was easy. It was not easy, but it was quick. It was simple. 4 lines about a fucking duck or something, a chicken, bird of some kind anyway. But we were crazy proud of it. We were the proudest. This is the best shit we've ever done, right? We're convinced we're gonna grow up, be rich and famous, writing songs for all the fucking Miley Cyruses and John Legends and fucking Alicia Keyses of the world. We're gonna be famous, writing songs for everybody. So we're crazy excited, right? We show Mrs. Garcia. First of all, fuck you, Miss Garcia, for shitting on my dreams. But she had this thick, I don't know where she was from, but she had this real